What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. Looks like Lakers fans have voted, or at least a lot of Laker fans have voted on the potential head coach that they're looking at the most, that they feel like is the most fitting for the team. And the head coach that stood at top of all the other choices or candidates was Nick Nurse, for the Toronto Raptors. Now, I think it's highly unlikely that they'll get Nick Nurse because I don't think the Raptors are going to fire Nick Nurse or anything like that. So I think he's going to go back to the Raptors. But, unless some crazy reason or something like that, the Lakers trade some picks for him or something like that, that might be the only way that it might be a possibility that, he might be able to come to Lakerland. But other candidates on there, as I spoke on several videos ago about this, Mark Jackson's another candidate. And the SB Nation, you can actually go on there and check it out. They do a lot of polls and stuff like that about, all NBA with teams and everything like that. And one of the biggest polls this week, or surveys, I should say, this week in regards to, the NBA was about, the Lakers and the head coach situation, since now that they, have moved away from, Frank Vogel. Now it's all about, who's next and who's up next. Now, of course, the two up top would be Nick Nurse and Mark Jackson. Yes. So, that in that situation there, let's see, Nick Nurse is at 26%. And Mark Jackson's at the 23% in regards to the highest on the poll so far. And of course, you got some other candidates. I think Doc Rivers is one. And of course, you might have heard some rumblings about, Phil Jackson coming back, but I definitely think that's super highly unlikely at this point. The guy has coached a lot, and, he probably still has back problems like he had before he left the game as a coach. And I don't know if he has the willpower to do it or just want to do it in general. But you even got Shaq out here offering, they pay him $20-25 million a year. He'll coach the Lakers, which I think, of course, that's, far-fetched. But, hey, Shaq is just at least putting his hand and, putting his offer out there. So I can't blame him for that. But, really, the Lakers can make, head coaching changes or whatever they need to do. But it's all about the players, still. The players have to not only, of course, respond to the coach, but the players have to stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? And the health is the biggest thing when you look at the NBA, more so now than any time that I can ever remember looking at the NBA. It's all about health. If a team is healthy and a team has an opportunity to stay healthy throughout the season, they could do a lot of good things, and that goes for a lot of teams in the NBA, not just, the Lakers or whoever. It goes for a lot of teams. Health is really what it's all about. If you're healthy and you get in that rhythm, which you'll get the rhythm if you stay healthy, you'll get some type of rhythm anyway, hopefully. And, that's pretty much, where the Lakers have to really start. Of course, they have to go out and get a head coach and everything like that, because that's, what they need in regards to, filling that space or that void. But, whatever coach they get, I'm thinking, I personally, if I had to pick a coach right now, I personally think Mark Jackson might be the better pick. At first, I thought Nick Nurse would be, simply because I felt like there was a way they possibly can get Nick Nurse, but I just really don't see a way that they can get him now, based upon the fact that, I don't think the Raptors are letting Nick Nurse go easily, simply because, he's a really good coach. He's good at making adjustments, and, the team that he has is not the best, but he still has them fighting and still have them playing, above their means, still have them playing, a lot better than people think that they should have. Because quite honestly, we thought, or most people probably thought, they would just be a play-in tournament team or might not even make the playoffs, simply because, they just don't really have a superstar. Siakam is a good number 2 or 3, and everybody's really gone from the team now. They don't have nobody that they really can, rely on like that in regards to, like a superstar type player or somebody who can carry the load. And Siakam does pretty good. Van Vliet is still good. But, if you look at that 2019 team when they won the championship, they have none of those major players left. Kawhi, Of course, Danny Green, of course, Serge Ibaka, and then you got, Marc Gasol, all them. So this team is really, really young now, and they're really trying to find their footing. But, Nick Nurse is still coaching them very well and everything. And I just think that, the president of Toronto is just not going to let Nick Nurse go that easily, which is the reason why I think the Lakers need to go after, looking to Mark Jackson a little bit more, because Mark Jackson is 100% available, and he's definitely a good coach, because we saw how good he was in putting the Warriors together the way they are constructed, and how he was teaching them guys how to really play basketball the right way and how to win. And then, Steve Kerr just took over the team after Mark Jackson was let go, I believe. And he just had a winning organization since then, which they would have been that with Mark Jackson as well, because he developed that team and, put the right pieces in place and had everybody ready to go. And he's one of them type of motivational coaches too. So I think that would bode really well for them. Another name that's out there also, I forgot to mention, was Quinn Snyder for Utah. But I don't think the Lakers need to have him, because, he just can't do nothing with the talented team that he has. I mean, they go first, second round. That's it. They did have a number one seed about a year ago, but it doesn't really matter about the seeding. It only matters about, what you do in the playoffs and, how you evolve, from there. And Quinn Snyder so far with the Utah Jazz hasn't really figured out how to utilize that team or get them to the next level. And he's got a lot of talent on that team. So I don't think the Lakers really should go after him. I think he should be more of an afterthought. But at the same time, like I said, I think the only two they really should look into is Mark Jackson and Nick Nurse. But I think Mark Jackson should be in the forefront, which he's pretty close based upon SB Nation and the survey that was taken. And I think that, he would be a better voice, for the Lakers. I think the Lakers need somebody motivational to push them and, get in their face at times to let them know when they're messing up and making mistakes, and really earn their respect. And Mark Jackson, to me, is the type of coach that can do that. And he's the type of coach that actually let you know straight out what you're doing and what you're not doing. And that's the type of coach you need that's going to push you to be better. And this team right here, on paper, they got a lot of good pieces, but you need the right coach also to put them in place. And I definitely understand that. So I think at this point, now that I think about it even more, Mark Jackson might be the better choice if they go with him. It's been a little while since he's coached, but he still knows the game a lot. And, when you look at the Warriors and how they were put together, I mean, the dynasty that they built, I mean, he was a part of that dynasty that, built it, because he got those players. He drafted those players. He wanted those players, the Klay Thompson, the Draymond Greens, he put those players in place with Stephen Curry. And, look at him now, I'm saying 3 championships plus later. So, I mean, I definitely think he would be a good fit for the Lakers. And I definitely think he'll get, he'll press the right buttons on certain players to get the best out of them. So I think, if it was up to me in the poll, I would go with Mark Jackson as my pick on the survey and everything that's going on, or in regards to, who the Lakers need to try to go after. I think he would be the best pick, but, we'll see what the Lakers do in regards to that. But as I said before, it's about the players, too. They got to stay healthy, too, because health is a big thing. You can have the right coaches, you can have the right players, but if they're not available, then it's all for nothing. So we'll see how it pans out and who gets the job, or, who comes up. But right now, like I said, the Lakers are just trying to figure it all out. And, it's really tough. The fact they got all the star players that they have on their team, 3 top 75 players, and they didn't even make the play-in tournament. Really, really tough. So we'll have to see how it pans out for them. But right now, they're looking for the head coach, and we'll see which one they actually decide to go with. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section as always. And hey, Khaliis out.